I never thought moving to Whispering Pines would turn into another war zone. Emily and I came here for peace, for a reset after Fresno had chewed us up. She still wakes up to the whir of a fan because silence reminds her too much of her own heartbeat. I swore this house would be different, but then Karen Delacroix stepped across our bedroom threshold without knocking, a fake badge clipped to her blazer, reciting Section 8B safety inspection as if it were scripture. She didn't notice the blinking sensor above her head or the hidden camera watching her open a drawer I'd baited. She thought she owned the place. She didn't know I was waiting. I'm Ethan Sorrell, former Navy electronic warfare specialist. I used to jam signals in deserts halfway across the world. Now I trap people with code and silence. The HOA had already cited us 3 times. A bush too wide, paint discoloration that wasn't there, window clutter through closed blinds, harassment disguised as governance. So I built the trap, rewired smart locks, embedded RFID loggers, microphones tucked into molding, a camera inside the sprinkler head. I wanted proof, not paranoia. Proof that Karen's war wasn't about order, it was about control. The footage didn't lie. 32 seconds after she entered, she reached for the fake ADA memo I planted. She read it. Recognition flickered in her eyes. That's all I needed. When you've spent a decade in electronic warfare, you know battles aren't fought with guns. They're fought with silence, paperwork, and keys no one should have. Karen had already staged false violations. A latch on our front gate mysteriously scratched, a photo attached to a violation notice. Someone had tampered with it. At 2:38 a.m., my cameras caught a shadow leaning over the gate. 21 seconds, enough time to twist a screw, then leave. Karen was staging her own evidence. And when I pulled up records about a neighbor's ADA complaint, the pool lift chair that never worked, I found nothing. She'd buried it. That changed everything. This wasn't petty harassment anymore. This was liability, and she knew it. The board meetings were theater. Karen sat at the head, issuing decrees. 2 members nodded along like extras. Only Marcus Holloway looked uneasy, a man too stiff in his own skin, always clutching his tablet like a shield. When Karen boasted about interior inspections, I saw him flinch. Later, I cornered him outside. He smoked nervously, hands shaking, eyes darting. He didn't deny what she'd done. He just muttered about liability, lawyers, and destruction if he spoke. But cracks had formed. I pushed, not too hard. Sometimes all you need is a crack. A week later, Marcus handed me a flash drive. His voice trembled, but his eyes were steady. Recordings from the last meetings, he said. On that drive, Karen's voice was clear as glass. That ADA lift chair has been broken since March. It's not our problem unless someone gets hurt. That sentence was a knife, proof of negligence, proof she had buried a federal requirement. Now, it wasn't just me against her. Now I had ammunition. I built the evidence packet the way I used to build an electronic strike. Methodical, cold, undeniable. Video logs of Karen entering my house, timestamps of her RFID override. Audio of her voice dismissing ADA law as resale optics. Marcus brought more. Deleted minutes, falsified votes. She wasn't just intruding. She was rewriting reality. The neighborhood was already whispering. Anonymous posts about late-night trespasses, stories of Karen opening backyard gates without knocking. I scheduled everything for release at once. Nextdoor, the local forum, the private Facebook group. No threats, no commentary, just files. This is what your HOA isn't telling you. Friday, 8 p.m., just before the monthly town hall. The detonation was quiet but brutal. Comments stacked faster than I could read. Shock, anger, recognition. Someone tagged the city's public affairs page. Another asked if this was grounds for a lawsuit. Phones glowed in the clubhouse windows as the board meeting crumbled. Marcus texted me at 8:12. She just walked out. By Monday, the special session was packed wall to wall. I stayed in the back, watching. Karen tried to deny it, waving papers, claiming videos were edited. But when someone played the raw audio of her dismissing the ADA lift, her face went white. Marcus rose, his voice louder than I'd ever heard it. He called for a motion of no confidence. The room erupted. Hands rose, voices shouted. For the first time since moving here, Karen looked afraid. The motion passed. Effective immediately, she was suspended. The election came 3 days later. Neighbors filled the clubhouse with a restless energy I hadn't seen before. Signs in windows read, "We deserve transparency. No more keys behind our backs." Marcus stood at the podium and admitted his silence. He owned it, and then he promised better. His honesty carried more weight than Karen's entire reign. The vote wasn't even close, 84%. Karen didn't wait for the count. She was gone before anyone could stop her. The city launched an investigation into ADA violations, misuse of authority, negligence. Whispering Pines exhaled. No more citation slips in the mailbox, no shadows testing locks at night, just porch lights glowing like small signals of solidarity. I sat in my garage beside the walnut workbench my father built, running a hand along its scarred surface. Legacy isn't about control, it's about what you protect. Marcus asked me to join the new board. I refused. My place isn't at the table. My place is making sure the table isn't rigged. But I left him with every file, every record. If Karen or anyone like her ever tries to rebuild her cage, the neighborhood won't stay silent. Not again. Karen thought power was about badges, clipboards, and silence. She was wrong. Power is about what happens when silence starts to listen back. And when it does, people like her don't just lose, they vanish.